Hey Diego, how are you?
Hey, Aviad, I'm doing great. What about you? All good?
Yes, very good. It's been a while since we last talked, right? All the pandemic,
Yes,
everything that went over us. So
indeed. A long time, but it's always, great to catch up with you and the stuff that your team is doing.
thank you, and always good to talk to the mentors. You always challenge us, but in the positive way.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Let's have an open discussion here, such that the
Yes,
audience can, whoever sees this recording, can better understand like the news that we're sharing at TechEd. And can I start by just bringing one slide that I think will summarize the major announcements that we're doing in the area of SAP Work Zone?
absolutely.
Give me, I don't know, 2, 3 minutes. I'll go over this and then we start the discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Okay, awesome. So those of you who are currently at TechEd, following Twitter, following the announcements, you should have heard about the latest announcements of SAP Build. SAP Build is SAP's low-code, no-code offering. It includes process automation, SAP apps, SAP Build apps, and SAP Build Workzone. Today, Diego, in our call, and you know me, I'm coming from the portal area, the Launchpad area. Let's focus on the SAP Build Workzone offering and what is the major announcements in this area. So what we share with the audience at this decade is a bit of a modular offering for SAP's central entry point. Let me go over the flow here, and then I can explain, I think, also better why it's better than what we had before. So we have 3 editions of SAP Build Workzone. The first edition is actually a new planned service or a new planned offering targeting so-called a homepage for the SAP Cloud Solutions. So think about you're an SAP customer running multiple SAP Cloud Solutions, and you want this single central homepage that brings all the cloud solutions into it. And moreover, since everything is cloud, we know your systems, we know which systems you're using, so we can pre-configure everything. So this is
Yes,
why we write here, pre-configure the homepage for the SAP Cloud Solutions. We call it SAP Start. I think the name says everything.
yes.
Now we go to the second edition. The second edition, we call it SAP Build Workzone Standard Edition, but Diego, let's not be confused. This is the name that we know today as SAP Launchpad Service. So we
I
are
was about to say
rebranding.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the Launchpad Service. Launchpad Service, SAP Build Workzone Standard Edition, is providing the capabilities we have with SAP Start, plus what you can see here. If I can summarize, mainly what we have here is the connectivity to on-premise systems, the integration with custom developed applications, the ability to have navigation bar because it's not a single page, it's a multi-page experience, and so on. This is typically used, for customers who want to have multiple S4 systems, let's say. I want to aggregate multiple on-premise launchpads into a central launchpad. The third edition that we have is SAP Build Workzone Advanced Edition. Currently, Diego, from your project, you know it as SAP Workzone. Mm-hmm. And this extends the standard edition with additional capabilities in the area of web content, document management, empowering business users to create and publish content, and more, premium HR content, and so on. Before I stop, I'm talking a lot, I feel. Key aspect here is that we have an upgrade path across the 3 editions. This is fundamental to offer this modular offering. Moreover, we are giving special attention to have a harmonized experience with the Horizon theme across the editions, and in addition have a harmonized experience with SAP Mobile Start. The story looks great. Now, a disclaimer. SAP Start and the new capabilities of SAP Build Workzone Standard Edition are currently in beta. And also, SAP Mobile Start is not working across all the editions. SAP Start is still in beta. Build Workzone has its own mobile client. But this is where we're heading towards. This is our strategy, and we're executing on it in full steam. And here, let me stop the flow of talking.
Understood. So let me see, if recapping with my own words, but basically, the idea now is that we have SAP, everything is under the umbrella of the SAP Build Works on brand, if we want to call it away. And we have three different steps or three different stages, which is SAP Star, Build Works on Standard Edition, and Advanced Edition. And this is going to depend on how deep you go in terms of integrating your landscape and the level of the complexity of your landscape, right? So if I'm only cloud-based, I'm going to go with a Start. If I have, on-prem and also cloud-based, I am most likely will go with a Standard Edition, as long as I don't want to do, complex content management systems and things like that. And then if I want a full-fledged, similar to what we used to have with Portal, and then we were Portal, most likely we go like Advanced Edition, right? Did I kind of summarize it in my own words in a proper way?
Exactly correct. So you exactly got it correctly. When talking with a few customers in the last days, I understood some confusion. People ask me, okay, SAP Build Works on Standard Edition, Advanced Edition. Are these new services? So like everything is new. So really important to make it clear. So let's say SAP Build Works on Standard Edition, event rebranding, renaming of the Launchpad service, and we are adding more capabilities on top of this. So these new capabilities like the integration with UI integration cards and other stuff, these are currently in beta. SAP Build Works on Advanced Edition is what we know today as SAP Workzone. So it's not new services. We are rebranding and repackaging, so-called, the offering here.
Understood. Okay, so let me ask you a little bit about scalability, because this is always a topic, when you're working with this type of solutions. So what is the current approach of scalability? Do I need to concern about, the entitlements and different resources that I have on SAP BTP, or this, takes a different form, a more transparent from a user perspective?
Yeah, this became a very common question in the last month, as I would say. So, all the offering that we just saw on the screen, they're all full cloud services, cloud solutions running on the SAP Business Technology platform. So when you go and implement one of these services, being SAP Start on any of the editions of SAP Build Works on, these are full cloud solutions. So you should not matter about scalability, how many virtual machines are running in the background and stuff like this. From your perspective, you are so-called requesting from SAP X number of users for SAP Workzone, whatever edition that you want to run based on the capabilities that you need. And it's up to SAP to make sure that it's running, it's scalable, and so on. So from your perspective, it's like transparent. From a customer perspective.
Yes. No, that's great, because this as you were saying, this is a very common question that we get asked, by our customers, how to deal with the scalability. In the past, of course, if this was on-prem, doing the sizing of the systems and so on and so forth was always a little bit painful. And even today, right, if you're maybe creating a custom application in BTP, you do have to take care of sizing. So it's great to know that this is fully transparent, and you only need to take care of, like, okay, I have 5,000 employees if I focus on works on for HR, or I have this amount of users coming into the portals that I'm setting up for different activities. Okay, Aviad, so tell me a little bit about, besides using Workzone for HR, what are typical cases do you see among customers these days?
So first of all, HR is by far the most common scenario, I would say. But in addition, we see many scenarios like supplier portal, giving access to suppliers, vendors, partners, customers, not underestimating the HR scenario that is still the leading one, in my opinion. We see more and more demand for these supplier portals, partner portals, and stuff like this. Sure. And Diego, if I may ask you something, I think, yes. Whenever I talk with customers, they tell me we need to have a supplier portal, or we are evaluating our employee portal, let's say based on NetWeaver, whatever it is. But always we get to the discussion, which service should I use? Should I use the Launchpad service? Today we call it SAP Build Works on Standard Edition. Or SAP Workzone. Today we call it SAP Build Works on Advanced Edition. And how do you tackle this with your customers? Which one do you recommend them? What's your best practice here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it is always very, it requires a long discussion in terms of a scoping workshop and understanding the overall landscape of the customer. But it always comes down to what's the level of integration that you're looking for, what are the sources of content that you're looking to integrate, because of course you can have a certain amount of applications on the Launchpad, custom applications that you can create, with BTP in order to bring certain level of integration. But if you want a place, right, so a center point of entry with multiple sources of data, widgets, and underlying integrations to provide an overall experience, that's why where I will go to the now known SAP Build Works on Advanced Edition. What I'm trying to do is just to have a central point of entry to the different applications of the organization, even though now you're providing a feature for these UI tiles with certain information. Even if we have that functionality, I will still focus if I want like a full-fledged integration with content. I will go with the Advanced Edition, and if I just want to deal with applications and certain information that could be beneficial for the user, I will deal with the Standard Edition most likely. Okay. And since we are already going back and forth with questions, I do have a question that you mentioned at the beginning, and is coming up right now. So you mentioned that some of these are in beta, right? So as a customer, how can I have the possibility of working with the beta versions? I know you already have a very successful first beta. So how can I be part of the next step of this great program?
Yeah, so it's a very good point, and I wanted this video also to be super transparent. I'm always transparent, and also in this video. So just to make sure that the slide that I showed in the beginning of our conversation, this is our strategy. Not everything is yet available productively for customers. For example, SAP Start is currently in a beta program. The SAP Build Works on Standard Edition. We have some of the capabilities, the new capabilities, like the integration with UI integration cards and stuff like this, also in beta phase. In addition, I can see the mobile experience. For example, today we don't have across the board SAP Mobile Start as the mobile client. This is still in the making. So just I want this to be clear for you and for the audience. And as said, SAP Start is currently in beta. Same goes to the new capabilities of SAP Build Works on Standard Edition. In this opportunity, maybe I would like to invite also other customers who would like to join to these betas to approach us and join the beta. In the blog that you see, this video is embedded into, there is link to the how to apply to the beta. So just apply there, and if you don't find it, just write a comment below, and I'll make sure that the right people are being approached and taking care of this.
Great, that's wonderful. All right. So I think this was great catching up with you and hearing about the news of SAP Build Works on, the new brand that is, this new umbrella covering all three offerings. So thank you for that. And yeah, please everybody take a look at this wonderful blog that is being written up and down. And thank you for taking the time. And Aviad, I pass it to you for closings.
Diego, just thank you very much. And next time we should not wait so long, so we do it a bit more often.
Absolutely. Let's make this a regular. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.